I'm grateful at the end of the day. You know, the crowds or whatever, even people in the back like did not like me. So now I'm like ultimate babyface.
This is the word to go, y'all.
Well, hello, ladies. Happy Wednesday.
Happy
Happy Wednesday. Woohoo. Hey, guys, in the live chat down below on the side, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us. And we're so excited. We have a great show coming up. And don't forget to do us a fave, as you guys always say, likey. Just click the like. Don't forget to also subscribe. Tell a friend, tell them to subscribe. And also, our favorite, ring bell.
Boom.
Ring that bell.
Do it.
You know, I always forget this. When I change locations, I never bring my bell, and I'm actually lounging it right now. I thought, you know, we had pink on. I thought I would just go with the whole pink Matthew Williamson wallpaper vibe. I love that wallpaper. It's fun. Yeah. But you have to be careful what you wear in front of it, because if I had like a print on, it's a little too much. Like, how many acid trips am I on? It's a little. Yeah. That's hilarious. I thought pink was safe, so here we are. But we are so happy to have you guys here with us. Every Wednesday, we're here in the chat room live with you at 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. for those of us in the UK. But you guys, we are so happy that we have not only our YouTube members watching tonight, but also our Patreon members. And Patreon's been so much fun so far. Just brought it back.
Cheers
Yes, round of applause. And there's different tiers to suit all tastes. So go to patreon.com/GawTV. The links are in the description, and find a tier that suits you, because there's extras, there's perks, and there's also a lot to see here on YouTube as well. So pick your poison. We're here.
Pick your poison. Oh my God. I'm so happy to see y'all. Y'all look beautiful today. And I know we can tell that we're all wearing pink. Thanks, Val, for that inspo. I was like, she goes, I'm wearing pink. I'm like, yes, I love this. For our special guest today, you guys may know her from OVW, on Netflix, Wrestlers, also from WoW. Also, you may have seen her on Empower. Yes. And of course, OVW every Wednesday. I really love this girl. I think she's amazing, and I've known her story for a long time, and to see it unfold and come out on Wrestlers, and like her to be able to just, you know, shine. I think she really shined in the series, and I'm excited to have her on today. Miss Haley J, y'all.
Woo! Welcome, girl.
HollyHood, baby.
HollyHood. Yep.
Yeah.
Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We're so happy to have you here. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, well, I am the Bougettoist baddie, HollyHood Haley J, and we are drinking Pat Ron.
That's how we love to start the party. And you came to play. We want to know who you're wearing, what are you drinking, and obviously we're all fans of yours, so we're so thrilled for you to be here.
Aw, thanks. Look, I'm wearing one of my favorite cheetah robes, because, you know, I'm a cheetah girl at heart. Exactly. And I'm HollyHood Haley J, the Bougettoist baddie. And I brought Patron because tequila gets you going quick.
I heard there would be tequila, so I have a shot as well, so we're prepared.
Yay!
Yes.
Well, when you're ready, I'll pour my shot, and then when you're ready, we'll take a shot.
Why don't we start with that, ladies? Whether you have a shot or a drink, and for those watching at home, whether you're imbibing or not,
what?
Judge.
I didn't put a shot. You know what you said? Because I talked to you earlier, and I was like, oh, you know, and you said Patron, and I was like, I did make a drink, but I didn't bring a shot glass, but I will sip it out of this. I don't know how this is going to go for me, this New Amsterdam, taking it out of the bottle, but we're going to go for it.
Yeah.
I'll take a shot with you guys.
I'm not even a drinker, but
a sip and a sip.
Exactly.
Yes. Cheers to you.
Cheers,
and all your success.
Cheers to
you. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
I wasn't. Oh.
Now that's
that was an okay choice.
Yeah. Mickie, since you told us what you were shotting, tell us what you're drinking and wearing tonight. You look fabulous.
Thank you. Well, you know what, Haley, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Val
you.
goes, oh, I'm wearing pink. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about pink. So I went and grabbed my hat, which I've worn with my gear before. It's a stone. It's this little pink fuzzy thing. And this fuzzy, because I know you love to wear like the fuzzy jackets and such.
Yeah.
That robe is also very fuzzy. So I had this like little sweater. It's got a little thing.
Oh, that's cute.
I've had it forever. I feel like it's Express, maybe. I don't know how long I've had this sweater, but I never wear it. Never
Aw,
wear it. I've worn
that's
it
okay.
like 3 times, I think, in my life.
We love a Mickey hat. I will say,
Yeah.
so it's a happy accident. I don't even wear a lot of pink, but I had it on today and I was like, oh, maybe I should change. I go, oh my God, HollyHood Haley J wears a lot of pink. So I'm just going to run with it because again, we're such fans of yours. I loved you on the show and we'll get to that in a moment. I did prepare a shot as well in your honor, but I'm just drinking some Prosecco in a fancy little glass.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Very fancy.
Use the
Matches
fanciest.
my wallpaper.
Yes.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
I was not wearing pink at the beginning of this, and like I didn't get the pink memo, so I took off my cougar one, and then I put it. I don't own a lot of pink as
They
well.
both make sense.
But she
Yeah,
is a cougar.
That would have
Yeah.
worked too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is
Thank
the only
you.
reason why I do the pink. See?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I'm not as cool as that, but I wore little fancy earrings.
They're
I wanted
beautiful.
these gigantic eyelashes because your eyelashes are always like when you blink, they're like this.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I was gonna do it, but I was like, no, this is chill. We're just chilling. So let them get the, the real Haley J. It's exclusive. And I just left the gym. So I was
Good for
kind
you.
of like, get there.
Yeah. And I'm just drinking boring water. I drank all my wine last night.
It happened.
And they
whine
don't
about
sell it until 11 o'clock here in California,
Yeah.
except the grocery stores. Yeah.
Hey,
CVS. Huge fan of yours. Honestly, I can't believe you've only been in the business for 3 years. Is that correct?
Almost 4, yeah. It'll be 4 in January.
Wow.
Wow. You can't even see it.
Yeah.
Serious.
Oh, thanks. I feel like me watching mom fail a lot, and even my stepdad Rev, watching them as a kid, that definitely helped me,
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that wrestling was not only in your family, but it was like probably on the TV all the time. So you probably had no choice but to love like what you're watching. Do you have like early memories of who you were watching and kind of what, other than your mom, like who were you watching on TV that you were like, now I'm into it. Now I want to do that.
It's so funny. Well, yeah, Mickie James.
Good answer.
It's funny that she's on here. My not only my mother and everyone was like big on wrestling, but my auntie and her boyfriend was Hispanic and didn't speak freaking lick of English. And anytime Mickie came on the TV, he's always ranting and revving. And I'm like, oh, what's this? It always got my attention. And that's when I was like, that's crazy. Mickie and Lita were mine that I was like, oh wow, that's fire. But way back when, she watched a lot of old stuff. Like it was just running on the TV. There was wrestling nonstop on the TV. A lot of documentaries and old wrestling, Johnny Saint, Jim Breaks, like slow technical wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell asleep to watching wrestling, you guys.
Yeah. I'm sure I imagine that's what Donovan feels like. He's like, I fall asleep watching wrestling sometimes.
It never stops. Yeah, right?
And there's so much of it now, for crying out loud. Like there's so much consumed. It's hard to keep up with.
Yeah. I do have a question about your sock full of rocks. Do people go backstage going, easy killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like no joke. No joke.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yes, and yes. But I know that. That's why I used it. It worked in real life. It's gonna work in this life too.
You know what you should sell, Haley? You know what you should sell at your appearances? A sock full of candy, hard candies.
Ooh.
And you sign the sock.
That's genius.
Right?
The kids will eat that. Oh, that's genius.
That is pretty genius.
That is.
I just made 10%. 10%.
Yeah, 10%.
Everyone's parents will be so mad. All the kids' parents will be mad. The kids will be going around whacking all their friends. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well, WrestleCade, what's everyone doing at WrestleCade? Because is it just for those that aren't familiar? I did it years ago. It was amazing fun. But is it a wrestling show and a signing, or is it just more of like a reunion? Everyone signs, or what goes on?
WrestleCade is a lot. I've gone the last couple of years. Lisa, you've gone. You're pretty much there. ODB was there last year. We always get a separate hotel. Honestly, that's what we typically do, don't we? Because we got that one hotel that had like the pool table in that game room and all that stuff downstairs. Do you remember? Is that like a little bowling? We should try to get that.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's also like a reunion because it's just like a WrestleCon, but it's a big event and it's in Winston-Salem. So it's just outside of Raleigh, just like north of Charlotte. I don't know. I've had a great time every time. I'm going to be there on Saturday.
Yes, I'll be all 3 days. All 3 days. Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's always fun for us because we get to meet new wrestlers that are coming in the business, and reunion for us old timers. You know what I mean? And we don't get to see each other often. So these are just like, we like to go out to have dinner and, shoot the shit, get a little tipsy,
Yeah. We're going to go see Winston-Salem. That's really.
Okay.
I'm excited.
And what we love to do, like even I'm doing Blizzard Brawl on December 2nd. Like I looked at the poster, not because I, just for any other reason than I want to see who's there, who I'm going to catch up with. And there's a lot of people, Al Snow, Cash Flow. There's a bunch of people at Blizzard Brawl that I'm excited to meet. We got to go back to wrestlers on Netflix because obviously I'm a huge Netflix fan. I watch, this is Emily in Paris we're talking about, The Crown. Netflix has the best shows ever. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reruns. What more could you want? But because I'm a Netflix fan, I remember seeing this advertisement. I hadn't talked to Al Snow, who we all know and love and have known for years, and he hadn't mentioned it. I mean, probably hadn't seen him in a long time. And I thought, wrestlers, what is this? And I thought, oh my God, it's OVW, which Lisa and Mickie are obviously very well versed in. But Haley, how did the opportunity come for you? And what did it feel like when they said you're going to be on the show and it's on Netflix, which reaches the entire world?
Well, it came about. I was already at OVW. I had been there already for a year or so. Yeah, a year. And allegedly they have already came and filmed a bunch of like pilots and shows for OVW, and none of them ever went anywhere. So really, a lot of people in the locker room kind of had like a sour attitude towards it because it didn't start off as, oh, it's happening. We like carried cameras around with us and kind of showed them our everyday life, and then thought they was interested or whatever. Then I didn't know that I was gonna be like a main shebang-a-bang. I feel like I knew that in my head because I'm a superstar, I have main character syndrome, but like I don't know, I guess my story was interesting. And because they filmed everyone. They had us all fooled, I'll tell you that much. Because I remember them telling us like, there's like 10 of you guys that we're gonna follow around, consistently, and blah blah blah. And then when the show came out, it was just like a whole different thing, and I was just like, wow.
Right.
Wow. You have that happening. That's got to be a point of contention for somebody that would think they were on it a lot, and then it's happening.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. Yep. I got to feel the other side of that too with my little ex relationship, but that's okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting you say that. It has to be hard. I think it has to be hard because if I remember, and this goes back to when you were at Empower, so I've thought very highly of you for a very long time. And I've known your backstory because we've had those conversations and stuff. And so I've always wanted to see you win. And so I think what a beautiful part of what wrestlers did was allow you to tell your story and just show you in your authentic self, and for that, I think people now very much perceive you in a very different way, and they can relate to you, and they have this sympathy or empathy or just that understanding where perhaps they didn't before, because they just thought it was like a character or you were just pretending, all the time, and they didn't really know who you were as a human being,
Right.
So I'm excited that you were able to do that and to shine so much, but I'm also excited. I was very happy to have you a part of Empower, and I thought it was awesome to have you there.
That was great. I still remember that. Mickie hit me up and then you Zoom called me and I was just like staring at you. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that was fun. Empower was crazy, but I had a lot of fun and I was grateful for the experience.
But if I remember correctly, there was like this bit, because this is how I remember that they were filming for this docuseries, or it may have been this one, it may have been a different one, but I knew that they were filming some sort of docuseries at the time, because even when I'm watching wrestlers, it was, how long ago did they film this? It had to have been a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And there was almost like that you almost weren't going to be able to come because
Mm-hmm.
they were filming that thing, and she's like, I don't know. And Al's like, they're gonna have the crew here filming. I don't know if I can come. And I'm like, come tell Al to bring the crew with you. Like,
Yeah, tell Al to
send
bring
the
the
crew
crew.
with
It's
you.
fine.
They'll love it. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Like,
I
It
do like
ended
your
up working
story.
out.
yeah, it did
I
work
love
out.
your story. Like you're
Yeah.
very a lot of people go through the same thing that you went through, you know, so it's very relatable and real. I wish we had this back in the day, that like people see us how we are at home, our home life and the struggles to get into wrestling and the sacrifices, being
Yeah.
so broke and like I can't afford wrestling boots, like, you know, I need new gear, but let me go to the thrift shop and see if I can
Yep.
like that kind of thing. But I just
Okay,
you remind me a lot of Soraya Knight from England. Yes.
Yeah.
Paige's mom. Yes.
Paige's mom.
Yeah,
Paige
Paige's
came
mom,
up to
your
me at
personality.
AEW the other day, and
I love
she
it.
was like,
I
"Oh,
love
I watched the show. You're so great." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
She's so
Paige is
lovely.
amazing. She is
She really is.
wonderful. She's a awesome human being. Like, I love her so much.
Yeah, and
She's
such a
very
good
pure and
example.
like authentic and just who she is.
yeah."
Love it or not.
That's why we connected, because she's like,
Yeah.
"Man, you're real. You're just you." And I'm like, "I know. I can't help
Yeah.
it."
And that's what's so cool. Like again, me being, we joke on the show all the time. I love like, RuPaul's Drag Race and Real Housewives, but those are very like glamorized shows and very like, sparkly. What was great about Wrestlers on Netflix is they did show you both, the sides of Hollywood Haley J, and then
Yeah,
the
the
real you.
transformation.
Yeah, and it was
That was the craziest part for me, girl. It went from crackhead Haley J to superstar. I was like, "Whoa, wow."
That's gotta
It was
feel
cool.
like vulnerable though. What's funny, I said to my husband, we were watching it, and there was a scene, and you look amazing and gorgeous when you're doing your character, but then there were some scenes where you just had like no makeup on, you're at your job and stuff. And I said, she's so beautiful, even without honestly, you really are. My God, skincare tips. Hello. But we said that, and I said, it's so cool to see the different sides of it and sort of see your vulnerable side. But was that difficult for the cameras to see you like stripped away as your character, like just as you?
It was difficult for the cameras to be around me all the time. I don't really care, if I go out in public, and especially now after the Netflix stuff, oh my gosh, people recognize me every time I go out somewhere, and I'm like, look like crackhead Haley J 90% of the time. So I just accepted it. Like, I don't get embarrassed about my looks or anything like that. But as far as like my business, I'm not always the brightest crown in the box, and I make dumb decisions, and the camera just being around all the time was like frustrating. But I'm grateful at the end of the day. They really did turn me into ultimate baby face. I really went from feeling like everyone on social media and the crowds or whatever, even people in the back, like, did not like me, to people understanding, like you said, and like realizing, oh, that's just her, it's not, whatever. So now I'm like ultimate baby face.
Yeah, you should have so many different sides. Like, of course, we love the sassy side, and as Soraya said to you, like, you're really, really real. But there were moments where you were, the way you talked about your mom, like at the end, I was like, oh my God, it got to be so. They ended on such a beautiful note too. I thought,
It did.
Yeah, I was worried they were going to be, like sometimes they do like a little thing where they'll put the text on the screen, like so and so never, It was such a nice, joyous way to end it. And I was so happy with that because I wanted it to end on a nice note. And it did.
Yeah,
it did. It did. It was cool. I think watching Al's like comeback match in the big one, that was cool for me, even to be backstage, like seeing how he gets ready for his matches and all that. I was just like, oh, look at Coach.
Dude, that workout scene.
I cried.
We're gonna talk to Al about that, because I was watching that workout scene where he was I've never been able to do those things. Never.
Bro, my brother called me.
My shoulders. No.
My brother called me and was like, why am I crying over Al Snow working out? Like, this is just amazing. I'm like, man, they really did that thing. They did their thing.
Like Rocky IV, with all due respect to Sylvester, Rocky IV could never. This was real. This was like real training.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
not a soundtrack in the world, Robert Tepper, that could cover that. Okay. Damn.
Okay. Here's to that.
She just talked about Netflix cameras following her around at 24. Can you imagine Netflix cameras following you around at 23, 24? I don't even want to tell you the footage.
Oh, no. I mean, it would have been great television. That's for sure.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
That's why it was so good.
Yeah.
It would have been great. It wouldn't have been great for me.
I always wanted the cameras to follow us going driving. Like once we're done with the show, hurry up, get in the car. We need to get to this next town. The shenanigans that happen, what we do on the road to entertain ourselves, the ribbing, the jokes and this like just the shock value. I think, it would have not been PG-13. I don't think.
Yeah, Netflix ain't ready.
That would have had to been behind a paywall for sure.
Yeah.
Paywall.
But if I can mark out even more, Mickie, I have to ask you about Haley J in your master class, your Mickie master class.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
critically
thank you guys
acclaimed.
put that video on. I forgot about that. You guys put the video on here. I watched that episode where you guys were talking about your master class and everything. And yeah.
I know. I felt so bad. They drove in, Tiffany and Jada drove in from Louisville to come do the master class. And like day one, she gets in the ring and like the first and somehow
with Jada, out of all people, like we all like what the, you know what I'm saying? We're all OVW girls. We've all worked each other, and we got in there all excited, like, yeah, we're gonna show Mickie James. Boom, kick me right in the face. I was like, well, we're gonna go out here. Sure
busted her
did.
lip wide open.
I didn't think it was that bad. And then I went and like spit in the trash can, and then it like split it open more and was just, blood was just going. So I was like, okay, well, can we get some glue? Mickie was like, no.
Oh my God. I said, hindsight, I was telling Brent, I go, God, I wish we would have had one of those camera guys follow Haley as she goes back. She was talking to Danny, who I love and adore. Danny was one of my trainers at MCW. And I love him to pieces. And so she was asking Danny where the super glue was so she could glue it back. And he immediately fell in love, and he's like, oh my God.
He found me some super glue. Shout out to Danny. He's cool people because he found me some super glue. But my man Brent and Mickie were not going for it. They're like, go get stitches.
Go get your stitches.
You're hardcore.
Go get them stitches. She is hardcore.
She's hardcore. I got canceled from the Mickie James class, and then she had matches, and I was like, oh, I'm for sure gonna wrestle, and she's like, nope, manager. I'm like, Mickie.
Hardcore HollyHood, Haley.
No, but you nailed it. You killed it. I know. I didn't want you to mess up your lip.
I got to wrestle though, and then she was the ref, so that was fine. I got my little spot. Mickie punched me in the face. Actually, that's why I have stitches
right in the lip.
There you go. Yeah. Do you have a scar on your lip? Do you have a scar?
Yeah, I do on the inside.
Oh,
yeah, it's on the inside. Yeah,
wow.
It's still there.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you are hard.
It could have been worse. Mickie told me if I didn't get stitches, it would have been worse. So I was like, okay, I'll get the stitches.
It was split bad. I mean, I looked at it when she opened it. It was split wide. I was like, she's like, no, let me just glue it. I'm like, no, because if you do and it doesn't heal right, it's just going to be, and then it's going to grow back wonky, and then you're going to have like a hair lip,
like a hair lip
in your lip.
Yeah,
a hair lip,
like a hair lip.
Nobody wants that. You got photo shoots to do. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of continued success, what are your goals in professional wrestling and beyond?
Well, professional wrestling. Of course, I want to go to WWE. I got certain people that I want to get it cracking with there. Charlotte Flair. And but right now, that's on pause. They're interested, so we're just on pause. So with that being said, I will go anywhere that they will accept me and love me, and I will show up and show out.
You know what? I've seen you everywhere. I've seen you popping up everywhere now. Where I know that there was a time where, OVW is obviously doing great. I think it's from Lisa and I's standpoint, especially to because we have so many memories there and we spent so much time there, and I always want to see them win. I think they have an incredible school. They always have all my love and respect. And I even Al, from him buying OVW from Danny when Danny retired and all that, and for him to still keep it alive and all this time is it's really cool to see it win. Right. For you to be a big part of that. That's and awesome too.
Danny Davis making a cameo, him and Julie Jules were our mom and dad, and he's living the life, retired in Florida, karaoke every Saturday, bingo, and all that kind of stuff.
He just rides the golf cart down to the watering hole.
The watering hole,
Florida. I love
the life. My God, it's very, very important.
Yes, but what's going on with you? wrestling life after wrestlers, wrestling after wrestlers. How's that?
For wrestlers, that's gonna be the name of my book she was talking about, my memoir. You know, it's going good. A lot of people, I guess I'm getting the recognition now. A lot of followers on social media and stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, people are recognizing me when I go out. I went in West Virginia to a youth football game, and I did not think anyone there was gonna be like, oh, I watched this show, but they sure did. They're watching it everywhere. And yeah, I'm grateful for that. I get to go out of the country now. I'm going to the UK. I'm going to Canada in December.
Fun.
Knowing what's next. That's the coolest part for me, is the more traveling and stuff. I did get the WWE pause situation. I was offered a tryout, but then was canceled the day of because I needed a clearance note on my epilepsy bogusness. And yeah. So yeah. That's where we are.
There's so
Yeah,
much.
what a teaser. That happened to me a lot in OVW. I got brought to the airport 3 times and they changed their mind. Go back. We changed our mind about the storylines. And so remember I told you guys I thought I was being tested to see how badly I want it. Maybe they're trying to force me to quit. But I would come back to the school and Danny goes, "What?" And I go, "Again, they changed their mind." And it's like, oh, you know, so
oh my God, that would break my heart.
I get butterflies. You're like, huh. Oh my gosh, you're going through a TSA, and I'm like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. And then because it's home, they changed my mind. Go back to, and I would go back to the wrestling school.
While you were at the airport, that sucks.
It sucks.
I mean, it was different. Obviously, it was a lot different then, right? Because it was developmental. I think I was supposed to was going to debut or brought to TV like 5 times before I finally debuted, at least as you were under contract as a developmental talent, you know. Haley, I got told no at least, and not interested, not right now, at least 100 times. I would send in a tape every 2 weeks to Dr. Tom. God bless his heart. I love you, Dr. Tom.
Dr. Tom. I do too. Shout out to Dr. Tom.
Yeah,
Dr. Tom. I would send him a tape every 2 weeks, at least once a month, and constant, from when I was terrible to I was getting decent, you know, because it's like a fine line. And you said, like, you know, you grew up in the business, your mom was in wrestling, your stepdad, but you really didn't love it. You didn't have that same love. I mean, I would almost think that because it almost was taking their time away from you, almost might have had like a little animosity. I always think about that too. Like, if they don't love wrestling like we do, like Donovan, does he love wrestling? Like,
I don't get it yet.
Probably not.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, you didn't really want to get into wrestling. I think it was just, and I think about how much of a life that you've lived. Like, kudos to you is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I find you inspiring. I think you're amazing.
Thanks.
I really do. And maybe it's because I've just seen the true you from the get start, because I just questioned you on all of that and just talked to you.
Yes, you did. Mickie would call me and be like, these people on the internet hate you. Why? What's the reason? I'm like, you know what?
Get to
It's a
the
great
nitty-gritty.
question. Thank you.
Yeah. God, you look back and you actually like really appreciate kind of when people are more blunt with you, because you know that term sycophant, right? People that are around you just kind of like kissing your ass and going, everything you do is great. You're not going to learn that way. And what do they always say? Like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You want to have other people that are smarter than you, that have been there before, to kind of cut through the BS. And if Mickie was that person, like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think too, but I said this to her, I think I saw, and if you remember, like, I was going through a whole thing at the time too. It's like, I think I immediately saw a lot of my sister Susan and Haley, just in her personality and the way she delivers, and like that rawness. And I felt like I got her on a different level. And so I wanted to get to who Haley was as a real person. And I already thought she was a star, because I kind of saw, as I was booking Empower, saw different talent, and your name got thrown at me. And then I was talking about it, and then I saw the hate, and I go like, what's going on with this, Haley? Like, what's the deal? And I'm like, but I was like, I had talked to you about the story about your son at gunpoint. And I was like, I can't imagine at 24 years old right now, the life that you have lived. And I mean, I can, because we all have all lived our own lives, but it's a lot. It's a lot for anyone, especially someone so young. And I think you're incredibly strong. And I think it's a lot of those challenges is what makes people break into next level stuff, you know, because the hardships we go is because what we can handle, right? And that means that big things are on the way for you. So I'm excited for you. Yes.
Thanks, girl.
We're so proud of you. Very
We're
proud.
so excited. We've only hit the tip of the iceberg with your amazing wrestling journey. So, as a final word, we just want to say, I'm sure the girls agree, big fan of yours. We are so happy to see your journey, and we're wishing you all the success. Let's raise a glass to HollyHood HJ.
Oh,
it's Hollywood.
Hollywood now.
Cheers.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the word to go, yo.